last night. Zach Morris will be the first batter of the game. Here comes the first pitch from Burns, and it is outside for ball one. Zach Morris, the VMI transfer. As the 1-0 was swung on and missed, and the first swing is a strike.
Well, you tell yourself all about it. You know the scouting reports, but until you stand in against 98 to 102, it's different.
Chase Burns, the preseason All-American, throwing the ball there for a 2-1 count. And Duke is trying to chase history, Larry, looking for their first series win against the number one opponent since 2009. And it was against another ACC school over in Chapel Hill, UNC.
Pretty good job bringing that ball back to the outside corner of the strike zone by Cameron Gill.
2-2 is missed, and the first batter of the game will see a full count. Chase Burns getting high in that pitch count early. Payoff on the way, and that is swung on into left, and it is going to be a fair ball as Winne cannot come up with the catch. It just landed right under its glove, and it is a single for Morris.
Winne short hopped it, but didn't come up with it cleanly, ruled the base hit. The stuff for Chase Burns, we said sick, crazy ability. He's got everything that you want. You see that his fastball is heavy, 60% of the time he throws that. That curveball and changeup, 10% of the time total, have become good pitches for him.
Man, he's going to try to get a heater on Ben Miller, who went on that pitch for strike one. I'm going to check back at Morris.
You know, that's one of the reasons that Burns wanted to come to Wake Forest, too, is because they pay a lot of attention to a lot of different details. And it's one of the better schools in the country at doing things like holding runners.
They're going to try him again. Kurtz applies the tag, but Morris gets back in time. Morris and Miller lead the Blue Devils in home runs. They are tied for 7 apiece. As we talked about, these guys know how to hit home runs. Yeah, 1. And that is fouled away back behind home. Behind on this one. Start time was supposed to be at 3 o'clock this afternoon, but unfortunately Mother Nature really hasn't been so kind to us this weekend, but luckily we were able to get this game in on this Saturday night. That turned in actually a terrific Saturday night in Winston-Salem as Miller leads off that pitch for a 1-2.
First breaking ball of the night for Burns.
Zach Morris struck out swinging in Game 1 last night. He was the game's first batter then as well. He's on first now. Miller thought about it. And the home plate umpire calling time. Wilson Rayner at home plate tonight. Joshua Ryan Clark at first. Micah Holman at second. And Linus Baker at third.
Tom Walter out to talk to Rayner to try to figure out exactly what happened. Not sure why he came out. I looked for a moment like he was going to ask for an appeal on the check swing. Then he just kind of walked around home plate a little bit. Never did see a sign from the first base umpire, Joshua Ryan Clark.
He's going to stay at a 1-2. Swung on and missed, and that's a cha-ching out for Burns for the first out of the game.
Well, there's the breaking ball again. Very sharp breaking ball. 2 different kinds of breaking balls, both hard with very good spin. As a reliever at Tennessee last year, he was mostly a fastball slider type pitcher. He's added the curveball, which has been a very good pitch for him. A lot of swing and misses on that. And he's still fooling around with the changeup, which can be very effective at times.
That's now strikeout number 30 on the season. Alex Stone stepping up to the plate, seeing a ball. And it was a tough night for Alex Stone, the third man in the order for Duke, 0 for 5. Leads off that pitch for a 2-0.
That looked like that might have been the change. He left it up high. But a changeup at 89 to 90 miles an hour, that sounds a little bit ridiculous to say, too.
Takes a strike there. Alex Stone has had a terrific career in blue up to this point. He's in the top 10 in home runs all time. He needs one more to get to 6 all time. He's currently at 7 with 30. But he looks to get a free pass to first here. With a 3-1, Morris still hanging around at first. There goes the runner. He swings for a full count, sending down the second. And Cameron Gill cannot get a good throw down the hawk. It's a stolen base for Morris, and he is the first runner in scoring position tonight.
Fastball up at 97 miles per hour. Pretty good pitch to throw on, but the swing distracts you just a little bit. Throw came up short.
Duke got 2 runs in the top of the first yesterday as that hits foul. And first payoff pitch, and he's done liking what he sees.
3-2 curveball is not what you expect to see from a guy that throws 97 to 99 consistently.
Chase Burns, he was the 2022 D1 Baseball National Freshman of the Year. Another payoff pitch as that will be tipped to the backstop. Stone still staying alive with this full count. Get something in play. Duke will look to come around and score first again.
Stretching out the pitch count, too, which is something Duke isn't really known for. They're pretty aggressive about swinging early in the count.
Another payoff pitch, and he swings at that, and nothing in order. Back-to-back strikeouts for Chase Burns, and there's 2 out in the top of the first.
A really good location on that, too, with the ball down on the outside part of the plate at 99. Forget it.
Just missing the big 1-0. But back-to-back strikeouts for Chase Burns to bring up Logan Bravo.
Well, there will be some before this is all over.
Harvard transfer, working with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, and he takes strike 1 looking. Had a chance to talk to Logan's father, Mike, actually, in the concession line yesterday, and he's really been enjoying the transition from the Ivy League over to Duke as he swings at that pitch and it goes foul.
I'm willing to bet, though, that he didn't see many guys throwing 99 in the Ivy League.
That's why you come to the ACC with Bravo facing an 0-2. Morris still hanging around second. Check swing, did he go? He did. Throw down the first, and Kurtz tags the back. So the Blue Devils come up empty in the top of the first.
In the 4 spot, trying to offer some protection to Nick Kurtz. Last night was a loud night for him. He had a big home run. Strong offensive night.
6 home runs on the season for King, as well as Houston takes strike 1 to begin the bottom of the first.
It was just so odd at the beginning of last night's game, watching the amount of runners and the long balls. It was double city, off 2 of the best left-handed pitchers in the country.
Merrick Houston, the sophomore. Monster freshman season a year ago as he takes strike 2 here with the low swing.
Known as a defensive player mostly last year.
And he's going to hop this one over the short throw down. It's going to be close, but it is in time to get him. What a throw down by Clark, the shortstop for the Blue Devils.
Well, a nice play on the backhand side, and talking with Chris Pollard before the game about his defense, he couldn't have been more complimentary. Everybody in the infield made a good play last night for Duke. They really played very solid defense and got a great job out of their bullpen. And that's a nice play on the backhand side for Clark.
Chris Pollard entering into his 12th season as the head man of the Duke Blue Devils as Tellier first swing and looking for it, and it lands right in front of Bravo, who tried to come over from first to make the catch, and Tellier with a nice deep breath as he can continue his at-bat.
A big area down there for years has been no man's land, and you see first baseman running some wide receiver routes out there, trying to run the ball down and catch it over their shoulder. Really difficult play for them, but it's a big foul territory, so it's a long way to go for the right fielder.
Adam Tellier making an immediate impact coming over from Ball State. Mac to the ACC as Tellier takes the 1-1. And that one inside, almost hitting him as he has to duck the hips, and Tellier gets ahead of the count 2-1. Chooses not to swing, and good thing he didn't, because it's a 3-1 for Mr. Tellier.
Last night that might have been a strike at the bottom part of the strike zone.
Doesn't take it here, and it almost hits him, but doesn't matter either way because Tellier is off the first. First base runner on for the Deacs with a walk given up by Healy.
6th walk of the season in the 12 innings that Healy has pitched. So Wake Forest, who is known as a very patient offensive team, will try to run the pitch counts up.
Here comes Mr. 8. Tellier on at first. And it's ball 1. So a Guardians tag yesterday. I wonder what that could have been about with all of the scouts that came out to the couch a night ago. That's missed 2-0.
Yeah, every team in Major League Baseball represented with at least one scout tonight or last night, and a number of teams had multiple people here watching. A lot of cross-checkers in town. Ran into a gentleman from one organization that played with my son in the minor leagues.
Kurtz struggling last night, 0 for 3, but he did get on base twice with 2 walks. And he looks like he may be heading on to first again, a 3-out. Kurtz. He knows how to be walked. He leads that category in the ACC. Not this time, as he takes the 3-1, not swinging on the 3-0 pitch, with Tellier still hanging around first. And check on him.
He's got 18 walks for the season, and you see a shift on by Duke. Chris Pollard said if he wants to bunt, we're glad to just have him at first base.
The 3-1. And it started as a 3-0. Now it's full for Kurtz. He did strike out twice yesterday. Payoff. And he is off to first again.
Well, you take what they give you. Try not to swing at anything bad when you're in the situation Kurtz is. And then you count on the guy behind you, who is another one of the top transfer students in the portal in the offseason, to clean things up. And he did a great job of it. Has been doing a solid job of it all year. Did a great job last night.
Saver King, a phenomenal year. Year number 1 with Wake Forest, and could be his last. Hard to believe, Larry, that he was playing D2 ball last year, and now he's one of the top contenders for the draft.
Big summer with USA Baseball. Got some at-bats in the Cape.
Was at Wingate a year ago as he takes a swing. Looks like it's going to stay in the infield. Morris. Looked like under Anello actually be Clark, as Morris was guarding second just in case, and kind of the last thing Wake Forest wanted to see is Tour down with runners on second and first.
Infield fly rule called immediately by the umpiring crew.
And Wake Forest did have chances to get back into the game yesterday. They left 11 on base. It's going to be up to Jake Reinisch. Runner goes to third, and they're not even going to bother throwing it down as runners on the corners. Tellier 90 feet away from getting the game's first run.
He got a big jump. You can see that he timed the looks that he was getting in at a very comfortable field. No chance for a throw at all. So now any kind of a wild pitch past ball, he scores.
And Reinisch taking ball 2.
And with the trouble that Healy's been having finding home plate, you never know.
Reinisch with 15 RBIs on the season as he swings at the 2-0 down the line. And foul ball, and everybody has to retreat. It was a good swing by Reinisch. Just would have got it a little bit to the left. That would have been fair right at the first base line. And who knows, maybe Kurtz would have had a chance to score.
Kurtz runs very well for somebody his size. If you think back a couple of years, he hit leadoff for Wake Forest his freshman year, all 6'6" of him.
And that pitch misses. 3-1.
Wake Forest had an injury situation, and they looked around, and he stole a few bases. Didn't hit as many home runs as he did his sophomore year, but still did a solid job in the leadoff spot.
Reinisch, he's been walked 17 times on the season, looking for 18, and he does get it. And it will load all the bags for the Deacs with the Massachusetts Masher, Jack Winay, up to the plate. 3 walks for Healy.
And the one thing that becomes problematic for Duke is that they went through 4 pitchers last night with their closer, Charlie Bielerson, getting 3 innings in. So they were really hoping to get a pretty lengthy after stuff to keep Wake from sitting on the hard stuff.
Jack Winay, 15 RBIs on the season. And he takes ball 1. Wake Forest had a chance with the bases loaded last night, and there was nobody out, and in that inning, Wake Forest came up empty, as this one will be foul. Good crowd on hand here at the Couch. It's a busy day for the final regular season day for ACC basketball. Duke and UNC have their big matchup coming up, actually starting already with another foul ball for Winay. Tellier at third, Kurtz at second, and Reinisch at first. The 1-2. Swung on into left. That's going to drop for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes the second, and they are going to get 2. Jack Winay gets Wake Forest on the board.
Well, Winay had been hitting in the 8th slot in the first dozen games or so this year, and Tom Walter moved him up to number 6, so he comes up with the bases loaded, rips the ball down the left field line, solid double all the way, easy stand-up double, and Wake Forest jumps out on top.
Tellier and Kurtz scoring. They were thinking about bringing Reinisch home, but they chose to keep him at third, and now it's going to be up to Austin Hawk to continue that momentum. Strike 1.
Pretty tough to score from first on a ball into left field.
Swing and a miss. 2 quick pitches and an 0-2. And good job by Winay as well. That was a 1-2 pitch that he swung on. And on 3 pitches, Austin Hawk strikes down, but Wake Forest gets on the board first. An RBI double, and the freshman goes to center. Merrick Houston out for the time being.
Well, it seemed like it was a routine play and a ground ball. Nice play by Clark at shortstop to throw Houston out, and quickly taken out of the game.
First at bat for Gracia.
Merrick Houston, kind of the glue that holds the Wake Forest infield together.
Started every game at short this year, and that's a quick 3-pitch gone for Gracia for Chase Burns. 1 down to start the second.
Well, the backdoor breaking ball, that's not fair. That's a really good pitch from Chase Burns, and you know it's a little bit easier on your defense when there's 4 outs and they've all been strikeouts.
And Devin Obie stepping up now. 2 strikeouts yesterday, as that one gets off the glove of Gill, and the at-bat begins with a 1-0. Swung on behind home, and a 1-1 for Obie. Obie, the junior out of Nashville, as he swings at that one again. That has popped up out of play towards right. Chase Burns getting every single out so far by himself. 4 strikeouts, 429. And he gets another one there. It's a 5 strikeout day and many more to come for Chase Burns. 2 down.
Well, and a little bit excited about it. That's the first emotion we've seen after a strikeout. You wonder if they've played someplace together before or not.
And that one at 100 miles an hour.
Figure that out.
5 strikeouts so far for Burns. And what do you know? Macon Winslow swings there.
And just, if you're sitting at home on your couch, think about seeing that breaking ball after seeing 100 miles per hour.
And an 0-2.
And then doubles up on it. Now you throw something hard up.
Chase Burns, the most strikeouts he has in a game is 13, and he may be on his way to breaking that. Wow, wow, wow. The 2-run RBI double by Jack Winay to give the Deeks a 2-0 lead.
Well, there's a hole that Healy dug for himself with the 3 walks and just 1 base hit, providing Wake Forest with the lead.
Won the ball Ballestero. That one's inside. A level count. Ballestero 0-2 last night to get on base with a walk in his second at bat, as he fouls that away here for a 1-2. And the 1-2 is fouled away for the 2-time transfer. Started his career in the ACC, played for Virginia, then went on up more closer to home to play for St. John's. Ballestero hails from Morristown, New Jersey, and then coming down to Winston-Salem to play for Wake Forest as he takes the 2-2 there.
Good job laying off the high one. He chased one and fouled it off the pitch before.
Ballestero, 23 years old, as the 2-2 is on the way, and that is swung on and missed. And that is strikeout number 2.
Well, when Healy's effective, he's getting his fastball into the right-handed hitters, and then stays away with softer stuff with a changeup. Tried to throw the breaking ball a little bit out of the strike zone, but when he gets the fastball in on the hands, when he's effective.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Andrew Healy, getting Austin Hawk to end the first and getting Ballestero to start the bottom of the second, and Cameron Gill takes a strike. Tips the 0-1. Gill looking for a big swing there. Went down south of the border to begin his collegiate career at Woolford. Wake returns to the top of the order, but seems we have to have a new batter with Merrick Houston going out of the game, and it will be Cam Nelson batting in his place. The 1-2. And good eye for Gill. Even count. Gets it, and right over to Ben Miller. Quick reflexes for Miller for out number 2.
Bang, bang. That glove, just that quick. He was playing a couple of steps behind the base, so he had a fraction of a second more to react.
Big stop there for Ben Miller, the grad student. Deeks go back to the top of the order, but it's Cam Nelson. And he swings on the first pitch, and it goes foul.
Nelson, at the moment, as a freshman, a two-way player. He's got great promise either way. He's done some relief pitching for Wake Forest and also a very speedy outfielder. One of the fastest runners on the Wake Forest team.
A 19-year-old, and he sees an 0-2.
I was 17 when I started college.
17? I was his age. I was 19. 0-2. Nelson, a bouncer. The Clark, throw to first, it's a little high. Oh, and he collides with Bravo. And Nelson is safe.
Pollard was immediately out of the dugout for Duke, and the umpires are talking it over a little bit. They're going to have a look at the replay to see whether or not he was able to keep his toe on the base over at first base.
That was a high throw by Clark, and
well, Cam Nelson with great speed down the first baseline, and you could tell that Wallace Clark respected that speed and got rid of the ball in the hurry. Duke was in their shift, as they do most of the time, with 2 strikes on a hitter, sometimes with 1 strike on the hitter. They moved Miller over to the second base position and see if we can see if the toe stays on or if the toe comes off.
seeing exactly what the umpires are seeing.
Well, I think Pollard was arguing that he got the foot back down. My estimation, it looked like there was an awful lot of shoe showing before he came back down.
See this angle as
Here's where he leaves the base. Now does Nelson get in while he's off? To me, he's safe.
yeah, there's space there, and Bravo not being able to keep his foot on the bag. And Cam Nelson running 100 miles an hour over the Bravo, trying to beat out the throw.
And then a big collision. And Nelson, not very big, about 5'9". Bravo is very big at 6'4", about 2 1/4. And he plays a very good first base.
Just have to see as the Deacs are looking to keep this inning going. Here's the call. Safe.
Well, again, that's the speed of Nelson. That call's confirmed at first base. The speed of Nelson created that play. Be interesting to see if Tom Walter tries to take advantage of Nelson's speed and gets him started with 2 outs.
See what Tellier can do.
Good size lead.
That was just the 8th at-bat of the season for Nelson.
Good size lead for Nelson at first. Right side of the infield open with a little shift put on for Tellier.
1-0. 1-1.
Tries to create a little noise with a fake bunt attempt. Miller, even with the base, was moving in.
Nelson with the big lead, and they're going to try it. It's a benefit of being a lefty because you have a clear view of first if somebody wants to steal. And another swing and another miss for a 1-2.
And again, a good pitch, getting it in on the hands.
Tellier, the defending MAC tournament MVP, was the hero for Ball State. And now Nelson is going to try to go. He's going to get caught on a rundown as he tries to go back to first. And they are going to tag him out to end the inning as Morris was able to run.
At least tie a record, right?
We'll see as Burns does take a strike there. Most in a game is 13. Well, it was almost a year to the date, March 11th of last year against Moorville State. He had 13 Ks in that game. He's looking for the extra point here. Here's the 0-2, and he doesn't get him looking.
Lou Gill thought he might have had it.
Chase Cruson. Pittsburgher, the DH in this one. Andrew Yu was the DH for Duke last night. Cruson had an at-bat as he takes a swing at the 1-2 and back to the Wake Forest dugout. All the strikeouts but one have been swinging for Burns. Macon Winslow struck out looking, and that ended the second.
A little bit tardy on that swing.
And a good rebound, too, for Burns after giving up a base hit on his first batter as that one gets away. And Cruson's going to try to run down the throw, but it is grabbed by Kurtzen. What do you know? It's another strikeout for Chase Burns.
A little off-balance throw by Gill because he knew time was running out, and it just about pulled Kurtz off the base at first. But again, a 6'6" first baseman.
Be up to Wallace Clark. Gonna try to end the streak, and he takes strike one looking. Clark, who came over from Big 12 country, the Sooner transfer. Going over to Durham as he sees a 1-1. 2 homers on the year. Did he go?
Ooh.
He did not. Clark ahead 2-1.
I was leaning the other way on that call.
Burns has struck out everybody except Clark and Zach Morris, who's on deck. And he's in danger of giving up his first walk, 3-1. Much better, strike 2.
99.
He sure does like those fastballs, doesn't he?
What's not to like?
Payoff. High fly ball out to right. Reinisch going back towards the track. He's at the wall, and it's gone! Wallace Clark breaks the strikeout streak, and the Blue Devils get within 1 on the solo shot.
Well, number 9 hitter in the lineup, and so you say, okay, I'm just going power on you, and got the count to a 3-2 situation. Clark anticipating it, got the head of the bat out. Lazy high fly ball, and it just kept drifting. Looked like Reinisch might have been able to get underneath it. Gave it a half-hearted jump, not within reach.
Duke, 4th homer of this series, and they go back to the top of the order. Zach Morris had a single in the first. He was stranded on second.
Your number 9 guy gets a home run off of Chase Burns, and that's found money for Pollard.
And Morris gets ahead 2-1. And then
2-1 comes in with a hard slider. You can't look for it.
And this is a high fly ball towering out to left. Winay, he has plenty of room to duck under it, and he makes the catch. And that's out number 2.
Interesting little byplay between Chase Burns and Cameron Gill as the ball was in the air. Burns headed towards home run as we see the ball that just barely drifts over the fence. Reinisch gets back, looks like he might have a chance, but realizes it's going to disappear into the bushes. But Chase Burns came about a quarter of the way towards home plate, and they had a little conversation about the breaking ball because it was up more than Burns wanted.
3rd homer of the year for Wallace Clark as well. This one's fouled away a quick 0-2 to Ben Miller. That's who Chase Burns started the strikeout streak with. Now that's completely evaporated with Clark responding with that big home run. It's now 39 home runs on the season for Duke as well. And he goes. On 3 pitches, Miller is gone, but Wallace...
7 out of 9 guys in your starting lineup. So Wake Forest got into the portal and were very successful.
And the defending national champions in there as well. Adam Tellier back out to work. He had a 1-2 count when Cam Nelson got caught in the rundown. He's going to slap this to Miller. Coast-to-coast throw, and that is in time. Bravo does not have a collision over at first, and it's a 5-3 put out to begin the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, the top teams made out all right again, didn't they, in that transfer list?
And Tennessee in there as well. Tennessee, they got a victory last night over Illinois, 6-3. As the landscape, Larry, of the top 25 has changed, and that's one of the reasons why this game is so important for Wake Forest, because if the Blue Devils come back to win this one, I think it may be safe to say that Wake Forest may drop from number 1.
In all likelihood, probably would, but it's not really a concerning factor at this point in time. It's you've started ACC play. You want to get yourself to where you're playing very good every weekend now, playing very well every weekend now as you're getting ready to face your tough conference competition and build up towards the end of the season which is where the rankings really matter. But none of the people on the team or associated with the program are all that concerned about the ranking right now.
And Nick Kurtz looking for walk number 20 on the season.
It's nice to have, and it sounds good, looks good, and the alumni are proud of it.
As Kurtz does head on over the first, but what really does matter is holding up that trophy in Omaha in the hot Nebraska sun. And Larry, if these two teams do not get crunched into the same regional by the time the season is over, these are two teams that should be in the hunt to head to Omaha this year.
No question about that. And there will be, as always, a lot of ACC teams in that postseason tournament. It's really all about the dog pile. I mean, the trophy's nice, but it's about the dog pile on the mound. That's what you want to be part of.
And that is something that you always remember. A 1-0 for Seaver King, and he's going to tower this one over the third. Miller has plenty of room in foul ground, and he gets under the catch on the 1-0 count for the second out of the inning.
Good pitch. Went big time off speed to King and had him way out in front.
And for this Blue Devils program, they are in a College World Series drought. They have not been to Omaha since 1961. They were one of the teams that were so close to getting there last year, losing in Super Regionals to fellow ACC opponent Virginia. Runner goes, and this is hammered out towards center, and you can forget about that one. How about it? 4-1 Deeks.
Nick Kurtz was running on the play, and I don't know if that distracted Healy at all or not, but he threw something right down the middle, and there was no doubt about it as soon as Reinisch connected. That ball went a long way into the right center field gap and a pretty good distance over the wall.
Reinisch kissing that one goodbye as Wake extends their lead on the third homer of the season for number 31. Let's see if the masher can do anything, as it's going to be on the ground, and that gets into left. A base hit for Winne. After the home run, Winne said, hey, I want to get on base too.
Yeah, not altogether sure that that ball was going to get through, so Jack Winne was running hard through first base, didn't make a turn.
Just going to bring up Austin Hawk. 0 for 1. He struck out swinging to end the first. And gets away from that one.
And they blew him away with fastballs the first time up, which seemed a little bit unusual.
And 1-1 for Hawk. It's only the second home run of the season, given up by Healy. 1-1. This will be fouled again. Hawk liking what he sees, but just getting a piece, not the full picture. Winne with a big lead. He doesn't decide to go to second, and Hawk sees a 2-2. A complete reversal, Larry, from what we saw last night with Wake struggling on offense, but now they are powering it up, and here's a high fly ball out to left, going back, and how about this? Austin Hawk, the second homer of the inning for Wake Forest. It is 6-1.
And the third home run of the year yielded by Healy. Got him into a hitter's type of count, sat on it, drilled it.
Wow, wow, wow.
Fastball up in the strike zone. And Hawk leaned on it. He struck out on the fastball the last time up.
And Austin Hawk fired up, eyeing that Deeks dugout. when they scored with them. Ballestero. 0 for 1 tonight with a K for Healy. Takes a strike there. This is hit into the opposite field. Could be in play. Bravo looking for it at the dugout, and he makes the catch. Alex Stone swings and misses. Strike one.
And you would think that Tom Walter and his staff would feel pretty good about a 6-1 lead in the top of the fourth with Chase Burns on the mound. Except Duke has shown that they can score in a hurry as well. They proved that last night with the long ball.
And with one of those home runs that Gracia got, the second home run that he got, gave the lead back to Duke, and the Blue Devils never looked back. Wake Forest could not find any rhythm as throw down the first in plenty of time, and another strikeout for Chase Burns. Geez, Larry, I'm losing count.
Well, that's the hard breaking ball, too, so pick your poison. Which do you want to strike out on? A fastball near 100 or a hard breaking ball that you've overcommitted to because you've got to start your swing so early on the fastball?
And that is number 9 to bring up Logan Bravo. Chase Burns 4 Ks away from tying a career high in a game. He's 13. Logan Bravo was one of the strikeout victims at the top of the first. And thought about swinging there, doesn't take it. And he gets ahead of the count by 2 pitches. That one getting away from Gill. And Burns does not have a walk tonight, but he's down deep in the count here of the Bravo. And that's ball 4. On 4 pitches, Bravo heads to first.
That looks like a pretty decent pitch. But rule the ball.
9th walk given up on the season for Burns. Gracia, if there's anybody that can get Duke back into this game, it's that man right there. As the ball got lost from Gill, and not even going to bother throwing it down as Bravo gets the scoring position.
Well, great job by Bravo being very attentive to what the ball was doing, and Gill had a little trouble picking up where it was. It got tangled up with the umpire's feet. And Bravo got himself a quick jump and got second to scoring position.
And check swing. He didn't go. Ball 2 to Gracia.
The problem with all the strikeouts is the amount of pitches that it takes you to get the strikeouts. And that's part of the reason that Tom Walter decided to go with Josh Hartle on Friday nights.
Gracia doesn't swing there. And it's strike 1. Gracia, monster night last night. And it was funny how he got 2 home runs. That's not the most that he's gone in a game. February 17th, hammered 3 against George Mason as he lifts this one, but it goes way foul to 2-2. Burns looking for strikeout number 10. Last time they struck out 10 batters, Mr. Lauder did it in 2022. This is going to be a high fly ball out towards center. And Nelson, he gets under it to make the catch for out number 2.
Didn't look like he got a great jump on that ball, like maybe he didn't pick it up right away, but outran it then into the short left center field gap.
And Cam Nelson, the new center fielder, Seaver King having to go play short. Don't know what happened to Merrick Houston. And Zobi dealing with 2 outs and a runner on second. And strike 1.
That's a Major League Plus breaking ball. Scouts are loving to see that pitch.
And gets a tip of that one, an 0-2.
to go with a Major League Plus fastball at 98, 99, 97, 101. He had one bullpen session indoors in the lab where he had more pitches over 100 than under. Fastballs.
16th ranked player according to MLB.com, and that explains it right there. Striker at the couch. Healy still on the island with Gill swinging to begin the bottom half of this inning for an 0-1. It's a tough inning for Healy, giving up 2 home runs in the inning, and a swing here for Gill for an 0-2.
Ball comes flying down toward home plate out of the bullpen where Duke has somebody throwing. We'll get on that. See who it is down there.
Austin Hawk and Jake Reinish with the homers, and a swing and a miss. And on 3 pitches, Cameron Gill will have to go back to the dugout. And Cam Nelson coming up again. He singled his only time up in the second, but he got caught stealing, and that ended the second to head us to the third. Duke may have a new pitcher warming up.
Jackson Emus is down the right field line.
And Cam Nelson takes ball 1. See how long Healy will want to be in there for Chris Pollard's club.
Well, they'd like to stretch him out.
That's pitch 71 is a 1-1.
Only 2 2/3 from Jonathan Santucci last night. Very short outing. Only 3 2/3 for Josh Hartle. So both bullpens a little bit taxed.
4th appearance on the bump for Healy so far this season. 2-1 for Nelson. Freshman out of Baltimore. Getting some playing time as this is going to stay in the infield. Who's going to make the catch? It's Bravo, who has to back up a little bit to make sure he gets it into his glove for the out.
And then has a brain cramp thinking that it's 3 outs and throws the ball down to the dirt back toward the mound. And his teammates will have some fun with that during the rest of the weekend. He spiked it.
And ball players can make mistakes too, as Tellier.
A lot going on in these baseball games. You got to count all the way to 3.
Especially with these high stakes ball games. 1 versus 12 as Healy throws that ball way outside for a 1-0. Strike 1, a 1-1 for Tellier. The ACC looking to be strong this season. This is right on the first base line, and it will be caught at the line. And Gracia makes the catch, and he is most definitely on pace for having his career high, which is 13 in a game.
Yeah, on a pace to my favorite numbers.
Fouled back to the screen for Winslow. He was the 6th strikeout victim on Burns. As that one misses for a ball. Got a final from across the street. Sees the Deeks defeat the Tigers.
Final weekend of ACC play before the tournament. Wake Forest needed that win in a big way.
As the 1-2 is swung on, and there is the 1-1 for Chase Burns, striking out Macon Winslow once again.
Again, it's the variety of pitches that become so impressive, because as a hitter, you try to isolate on one thing, and you've got to gear up for the high velocity fastball, but you can't when he's landing the other pitches as well.
Cruson is the batter. Takes ball 1. He was the last strikeout victim on Burns that ended the 7th strikeout streak, and then Wallace Clark hitting the home run. He's on deck now in a 1-1 to Cruson.
So you fall behind 1-0 and come in with a hard breaking ball. Hitters just really are a bit helpless.
Thought about it, doesn't take it, and it's at the knees for strike 2.
Corey Muscara, calling pitches in the dugout, has a full toy chest to play with.
Now that one's high. It did not go, and it's an even count.
High at 100. There's a number out about Cameron Gill. He caught something like 9 pitches over 92 miles per hour last year.
I don't know how Gill's glove is on fire, and that's a dozen for Chase Burns. 1 away for tying a career high.
And he's having some fun, too. He's got a smile going. He's got a little bit of swagger going, which you're allowed to have when you're doing what he's doing right now.
And Wallace Clark, if you were with us, you saw what he did. His last time up, that was in the 3rd with the solo shot.
If you're a catcher, you got to have a sore hand, don't you?
Do your catchers ever have sore hands, Larry?
Buck Martinez used to say it sounded like my grandmother passing gas.
That's the 2-0. That's in for strike 1. You know, Larry, as a pitcher, you know, like when you have a game like this, it just seems like you just got to have amnesia and like quick memory to just forget about that and just keep doing what you're doing.
But when you're a pitcher, the whole idea is the last pitch is the least important pitch of the night. The next pitch is the most important pitch of the night, and you try to keep yourself in that function, unless you're a guy that's got to think several pitches ahead as you're trying to set a hitter up.
And that is a walk, the 2nd of the night for Burns.
Burns doesn't do a lot of setting up. He's just got such unbelievable natural ability. He can do so many different things with the baseball.
They go back to the top of the order, Zach Morris. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Swinging as Tellier will send it over, and they get the out, and that doesn't turn into anything for the Blue Devils as Wake Forest still maintains and asking him about getting all of these Ivy League transfers that he has been able to get. And he just said it just really makes sense. As there's a high fly ball out to center. Could this be? As Kurtz does not leave the yard there as Obi steps back right at the track for the first out. Kurtz swinging on the first pitch, and the crowd thinking that was gone.
Well, the good news is he squares the ball up and drives it to the center part of the field. And when Nick Kurtz is swinging the bat well, he's going center field and over. And the pulls come on something that drifts up to the inside part of the plate for him. So still a good sign with the at-bat.
Emis hails from Massachusetts. As King, ooh. And goes down, and seems he's going to have to stay with the at-bat.
Squared and showed bunt, and the ball had some ride to it. It's a fastball that gets up and in and just takes off and narrowly misses the chin. And I can tell you from a pitcher's perspective, that's a very frightening moment as that ball's headed towards the body and the face.
Here's the 1-0. And that's in off of the almost collision with the ball, and it's a 1-1. Seaver King with a homer last night. The first of this series for Wake Forest, but he is 0 for 2 so far in game 2. As he's going to rip this one into left. That's in the corner for a base hit. Extra bases for King. He's hustling down the second. It's going to be a late throw, and King gets the second standing up.
Well, that's the best way to show how you feel about a pitch that rides up and in on you, is pay it back with a bullet down the left field line for an easy stand-up double.
Just the second double of the night for Wake Forest. Jack Monet with the other one. He's on deck. Jake Reinisch, he's coming up here, but that was hit beautifully down the line, and that got right at the 310 mark.
He stayed right over the middle of the plate.
Reinisch, first time up since the homer in the 3rd. And Emis throwing fire there, but it gets down low for a ball. Nick Kurtz scored with Reinisch when he hit the 2-run shot as they check on King at second. He gets back there safely. They're going to check on him again. All King can do is duck. That was a late throw to Clark. Reinisch collecting his third homer of the season. And the third, and he thought about swinging at that pitch, but he lets it go, and good thing he did because it's now a 2-0 count. Number 1 against number 12 here at the couch. With Wake Forest still trying to make their case to stay at that number 1 spot. And that is strike 1.
Until you get to Omaha, where the number 1 never seems to win. So it's both a curse and a blessing. Or a blessing and a curse, whichever way you want to look at it.
The 2-1. And that is swung on Reinisch, just getting a piece of it. It seems, Larry, that the ACC champion never wins either. The last ACC champion to go to Omaha was Florida State in 2017. The 2-2. That's low, and it's a full count.
And then, of course, you get the age-old question is which is the real champion, the regular season champion or the tournament champion, which is frequently different.
But
baseball, because especially in the ACC, because you send so many teams to the national tournament.
And that is what everybody is looking for, and the payoff pitch is swung on and missed by Reinisch. No home run there. He strikes out first one for Emis tonight for the second out of the inning.
Dog pile in Omaha is one of the highlights of the sports year, every year. And there are a number of teams in the ACC that can win it and get there and win it out there.
And there's only been 2 schools that have been a part of the ACC at the time that have won the College World Series, including Wake Forest in their 1955 year, and the other one being Virginia in 2018. Now, I probably know what you're thinking about Miami. When Miami won their titles, they were all independent. They were not members of the ACC at the time. As the runner goes, throw to third, and he overslides, and he's safe as King touches the bag, and he's 90 feet away from scoring.
Really overslid the bag, but the throw was a little bit toward the shortstop side of third, so Miller had to come off. Good jump by King, but the slide takes him so far back, and he collides with Linus Baker, the third base umpire, who made the call initially, then had to re-sign it. You see how far Miller is off the bag.
Ben Miller thinking, oh man, if I was a little closer, maybe could have tried to tag him out there, and it's strike 1 to Winay. And Winay, it's 2 for 2 tonight.
Awful lot of excitement at third base on that play.
Could bring King home. And a swing and a miss there, and Winay down to his final strike. We're at the halfway mark of this one. Wake still looking to take this series. They'll tie it with the victory tonight, and they can come back to take it if they win tomorrow afternoon, as that pitch is way outside. Full count for Winay. Wake Forest, they won every single ACC series 1 year ago. They have won 11 in a row dating back to 2022. The last ACC series they lost was against UNC. High fly ball. Winslow and Obi are going for it, and it is Winslow making the catch as Saver King gets stranded connected on 7 home runs, and he has 7 home runs this season alone. in the blue and black as he takes strike one to begin the sixth.
Well, I'd say check his bat, except they do check the bats before every series.
It's 1-1. And Chase Burns back out once again into the sixth.
I watched him do that the other day. Watched him check the bats. They have a ring that they slide over the barrel. 2.6575 centimeters is the diameter of the ring. And then they check the compression of the bats as well.
As that bat makes contact and Miller fouls it away.
Visiting team and the home team both have to submit their bats, and then a sticker is applied for the weekend. But every bat gets checked.
One, two, and that's high 2-2.
And I was some kind of bored watching the process, which is why I started watching it and didn't liven things up much.
What are the procedures for the balls, Larry, before they get checked? If there's anything?
Baseballs are just muddied up by the equipment staff.
This is going to be lifted. Reines should have no problem. And he gets under it for the first out of the inning.
The bats get the ring put around them. It's a three-person process. You got one person with the ring, you got one person with the compression, and then you've got somebody putting a sticker on it.
You have to be careful for Alex Stone's bat. 30 home runs as a Blue Devil, but he's having a tough series. He's 0 for 7. So he takes strike one here, and he has 2 strikeouts swinging. And the 0-1 is swung on for strike 2. Chase Burns needs one more for tying a career high, and he tries to get the fastball there, but Gil has to raise his glove to make sure that doesn't go to the backstop.
Overthrew it just a little bit.
Even though it wouldn't have mattered with nobody on base. The 1-2. And takes a half swing there and back to the screen, and nothing changes in the count. Still 1-2.
Break for Burns, but he gets a strike out of that.
And it moves to a level count. 2-2 the Stone. He had a 30-game hit streak 1 year ago, but he doesn't get it there, and that is number 13 for Chase Burns. He ties a career high with that strikeout.
That's also the 4th highest strikeout total in Wake history. Eric Hansen had 18. John Stokey had 14, and Tim Cooney had 14, and Seth Keener had 13 last year versus George Mason. There's a list of guys in more recent years that have had that. Ryan Cusick, Griffin Roberts, Kyle Sleeth. Mark Seaver shows up a couple of times, and Mike Buddy's in that list with 13.
And it's going to be up to Logan Bravo to try to get something going for Duke. Wildus Clark has been the only Blue Devil that has touched home on the solo shot in the 3rd. And Bravo swings and misses there for a 1-1.
Could be a bunch of hat tricks for the Duke team at this point tonight.
One of the other Ivy transfers started at Harvard. This is 2-1. He thought about it. He's having second thoughts on that pitch, 2-2. And the crowd trying to get behind Burns as he doesn't get the strikeout there. And it's a full count.
You knew it was just a matter of time before they were going to start umpiring, no?
Yep. A 101 miles an hour payoff pitch, and that is better! It's a career high for Chase Burns! Austin Hawk will be the first batter. Crowd not happy about that time call.
Well, I think we have a communications gear problem for Alex Stone behind home plate. He looked over to the dugout and pointed to his wrist.
Tim Cooney had 14 strikeouts against Radford on March 6, 2011. And now Chase Burns making history tonight, 14, as he has a career high. Austin Hawk up for the first time since he had his homer. And it's ahead of the count here on a 2-0.
There is action in the Wake Forest bullpen. Will Ray has been throwing, so that may have been the last hitter of the night.
And Tom Walter will be wanting a change. Seems we have an equipment issue for Alex Stone.
Relax, folks. That's how they give their signs to the pitcher.
Alex Stone. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He's now 0 for 8 in this series, and Austin Hawk, him and Jack Winay scored on the homer. And Wake looking for that extra point. And it's a 2-1 to Hawk. The sophomore settling in. There's a good future ahead of him in a Wake Forest uniform as he takes a 2-2 there.
He didn't get a lot of playing time at North Carolina. His brother had a wonderful experience at Wake Forest. The Hawk family lives close by. He attended Reagan High School.
And Tommy,
the transfer.
Tommy was such an important part of this team a year ago. And Austin trying to write his own legacy here.
And he's off to a great start doing it.
From Chapel Hill to Winston-Salem. Payoff pitch. And that's a strikeout looking, and Hawk can't believe it as he has to skip back to the dugout disappointed.
A fastball with good movement, but it was off the plate. Hawk didn't think that it made it all the way back to the corner. Let's see if Stone brings it back. He brings it back. Snow cones it just a little bit while he does it.
Yeah, that's right on the outer marker of the zone. It's going to bring up Tate Ballestero again. He's 0 for 2. Takes the 0-1. DHing once again. There's a wild card behind home plate. We were wondering if Ballestero or Gill was going to get the start in. Gill getting the start behind home once again for the Deeks. And the 0-1. That was a little too close.
Big concern for Wake Forest now is the status of Merrick Houston, who hit a ground ball to shortstop, leading off the game for Wake Forest offensively, and didn't come back out for the second inning.
Ballestero gets ahead of the count, 2-1. Unfortunately, I think showers are falling here again. And Larry, what's the biggest difference playing on turf in this weather compared to playing on a natural grass field?
They both get quick. Turf gets a little bit slipperier. Ball's fouled back. You'll see guys have been oversliding the bases already tonight. You'll see a lot more of that going on.
The 2-2. And that is fouled away again. Ballestero staying patient with this one. A strikeout swinging in the second, and he popped up the first, his last time up in the third. The next 2-2. And that is on a line up to first, and it is foul. Got right past Bravo. Ballestero getting a good swing there, but he has to go back to continue his third at-bat of the night.
Well, with the shift on for Duke, Bravo was very close to the line. It's going to be pretty tough to get one between him and the line.
And if he would have got that at the third base line, that would have got in for a base hit. Ben Miller playing all the way out towards second. And he swings and misses there, and that is back-to-back strikeouts for Jackson Emis. Cameron Gill. He'll be up as Wake Forest looks to avoid going down 1-2-3 again. They did so in the fourth, and they did so in the second. It was Cam Nelson. He did get a single in that inning, but he got out trying to steal second. Got caught in a rundown. Shows bunt to the backstop. And Cam Nelson is on deck again. The 0-1. 0-2. Emis did not record a strikeout coming into this game. He's 3 already. Doesn't get 4 there.
A little short with that off-speed pitch.
Emis having a great career at Princeton. He recorded 134 strikeouts as a member of the Tigers. And that one goes back to the Wake dugout.
Drop down a little bit sidearm.
The 1-2. And Gill rolls it along first, and slippery sliding Emis could not make a play.
Came over so hard and started losing his balance and was never really able to recover. That ball had an awful lot of spin on it too, coming off the end of the bat of Gill. And it looked like Emis wasn't quite sure which way to go, which way that ball was going to spin. Stumbles a little bit with the right toe on the turf. Turf monster got to him.
Yeah, Emis trying to hustle to make a play on that, and we'll be
A cutter slider type breaking ball. Fastball is going to be about 89 miles per hour.
And they're going to throw it back at first immediately. Josh Allen, the senior out of Florida. And as his first pitch is in the turf for ball 1. 2 hits given up by Emis, but he does record 3 strikeouts to Reinish, Hawk, and Ballestero. As the 0-1 is down low again. 2-0 on 2 low balls for Allen.
Allen from Oviedo, Florida, I believe. If I remember correctly, that's where Brock Wilken was.
Oh, how about that?
Milwaukee Brewers #1 draft pick.
22 years old for Allen as he takes strike 1. About 619 miles from Durham.
Oviedo is?
Yes.
All right then.
1-0 for Gill. And that is missed. 3-1.
Why, pray tell, do you know that?
Oh, it's easy.
Well, Google, yeah.
Yeah,
Google Maps
yeah,
is
Google
easy.
Maps, that's easy. There's just,
I get that, but why?
as that is a walk for Nelson. That just shows that, you know, there are so many players that want to come from all across the country to play in the ACC on both Wake Forest and Duke. Cameron Gill off to second, and Cam Nelson the first, as the first pitch to Tellier is in for strike 1. They both take leads. So that one's low, a 1-1 for Tellier. Tellier 0 for 2. Was walked his first time up. That was in the first. As this is hit into the opposite field, and it will just go foul. Tellier now stepping in with a 1-2.
Jam just a little bit. more action in the Duke bullpen. So Chris Pollard and Brady Kirkpatrick piecing it together tonight.
And they had 4 pitchers last night. And the victory. As that one gets down low for a 2-2 to Tellier. Only had 1 hit the past 3 innings, and trying to change that here, but it may not be enough, and that is going to be caught. And we will head to the 7th with the Deeks still on the season. And the first batter he sees is Gracia, taking an 0-1. Will Ray out of Pittsburgh Central Catholic High School. Hails from Mars, PA. A few legends have graduated from Pittsburgh Central Catholic, one of those being Dan Marina. Tamar Hamlin also went there. As the 1-1 is missed outside for a 2-1. Gracia 0 for 2. Really different than the 4-5 performance he had last night. Chase Burns shutting him and everybody else down, and that's exactly what the Deeks needed from their pitchers, and they got those with the solid 6 innings from Chase Burns. Will Ray in danger of giving up a walk in the first batter that he sees eye to eye with. And he takes strike 2. Two. Did he go? No, he did not. Full count. Oh, no, correction. That's a walk. Payoff pitch to Gracia. He gets on base for the first time tonight.
It looked like it was pretty good location-wise, too. But the first batter reaches. You can't feel comfortable against Duke the way they can hit the ball out of the ballpark, particularly in this ballpark, which is home run friendly.
Saw that last night. 3rd walk of the season given up by Ray. Dozen now in his career. Gracia with a big lead at first, and this is slammed into the opposite field. Reinisch looking for it, and he makes the catch for out number 1.
Inside out swing, puts some spin on the ball that makes it slice just a little bit more towards Reinisch. Easy play.
And Reinisch, along with most of the outfielders, have not seen much action. A pop-up to right that Reinisch had to deal with Ben Miller in the 6th, and that's the only play Reinisch has made so far tonight.
Infielders haven't seen many plays either when you get 14 strikeouts in 6 innings. Corey Muscara is going to head to the mound to have a conversation with Ray. We can't see into the bullpen, so it's hard to tell if there's anybody throwing.
And Muscara, pitching coach for Wake Forest, coming over from Maryland. Also spent time at St. John's as well before coming over to Wake Forest, playing at Franklin Pierce up in New England. Mound visit already, and just the 2nd batter that Will Ray has faced.
Hard to even imagine what that might have been about. There is action in the Duke bullpen.
And Duke, as we mentioned earlier, they had 4 pitchers in the game last night. They have 3 so far, and they get the 4. And it'll be Winslow. And the first pitch is low for ball 1. Winslow 0 for 2. Strikeout looking from Burns in the 2nd. That ended the top half of the 2nd, and he got one swinging to start the 5th. Tag applied to Gracia. Gracia. The monster night he had last night. First time here in the 7th in game 2 that he has reached on. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. A big one for strike one.
Winslow trying to put a couple quick runs up. A little bit out in front of the breaking ball.
Wake Forest still trying to stay at number 1. And Ray checking back just as the pitch clock ran down. Wake Forest isn't good company to start the season. Number 1 seed to begin 2023 last year was LSU, obviously going on to win the College World Series. And this one is hammered in the left, and that will land left fairway for a base hit as Gracia heads to second, and Winslow is on with a hit. It's the first hit for the Blue Devils since the home run for Wallace Clark in the 3rd.
Left the breaking ball up and it was hit sharply. Usually happens that way.
And we'll see a Pittsburgher matchup here with Will Ray facing Chase Cruson. Gracia at second, Winslow at first. Swing and a miss, strike one. If Duke wants any chance of getting back into this game, they have got to take advantage of the opportunity they have here. The 0-1. That's in the knees. And into the zone for an 0-2.
David Falco will be the closer for Wake Forest tonight. Cole Rowland, who is scheduled to be the closer, is out with some arm problems. Falco would be the short guy.
The 0-2. Got him looking. Strikeout number 1 on the night for Will Ray, and it's for the 2nd out of the 7th.
Yeah, that's a good backdoor breaking ball by Ray.
It's now his 22nd strikeout of his career. Wallace Clark as the homer, but you see a strike one there. Wallace Clark getting on bases. Last time up, he was walked in the 5th.
Matt Wessinger went down and was telling the Wake Forest team to get things going a little bit, and that got the crowd into it a little bit.
And there's a swung on the left. Winay looking for Nelson going over as well, and it is Winay making the catch with Nelson right next to him, and the Blue Devils come up empty with runners on second. There's the first pitch from Rochelle, and it's outside for ball 1.
Yeah, this would be a good guy to be very patient with. See how much he wants to help you out if you're the Wake Forest offense.
Back
he gets it there in a hurry. That's a live arm.
And Nick Kurtz has been walked twice already. And this one, last time up, was in the 5th. Popped up the center. On a line drive that seems, fans thought they were going to leave the park, but Obi had just enough room to make the catch. That was for the first out of the 5th.
Good breaking ball there by O'Shell, and now Miller sprints across the infield to get to that second base position on the shift.
2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. That gets up high. What will Kurtz do on the payoff? And he swings and misses. And it's the first strikeout of the night for Nick Kurtz.
Foul tip on the breaking ball. So for a guy that throws 95, comes in and throws a breaking ball on 3-2 to one of the best hitters in the country. Gets him to foul tip it into the glove for a strikeout.
Seaver King, 1 for 3 tonight. Had a double his last time up in the 5th. Also had a steal that sent him to 3rd. Swings on the first pitch for an 0-1.
Good pitch to hit, breaking ball inside.
And hitting-wise, Larry, it's a completely different story. Only 9 hits in this one. There were much more last night, 6 for Wake Forest and only 3 for Duke.
9 hits in the 2nd inning or so last night. Let's check that.
Duke had 5, and Wake had 4. And another tip there for King. It's now 1-2. Wake getting the chunk of their runs in the 3rd. Also got 2 in the bottom of the 1st with King laying that pitch off as it went inside, even count. Got him looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for O'Shell the 3rd. Jake Reinish. They'll look to keep this inning going. As it just seems, you just never want to let off the gas pedal even with a 5-run lead because the other team can completely change everything with 1 inning. Reinish struck out his last time up in the 5th. The homer already on the night as the 0-1 is inside. 1-1.
It's kind of death by paper cut last night by Duke. 3 2-run innings and 2 1-run innings. Then great pitching and excellent defense by Duke last night.
Josh Allen going out with only 10 pitches. There's a hopper towards second. It's going to be a tough play, but they get him. And it is a 1-2 over the first for the 1-2-3 bottom of the 7th. And Morris, the second baseman for the Blue Devils, as he takes the 0-1 on the first pitch to begin the 8th. Duke down to their final 6 outs, and they need 5 runs. 1-1 there. And Chris Pollard doing a phenomenal job. He's been at the helm of this Duke ship since 2012. 2-1 there to Morris. He has an ACC championship. That was in 2021 when they defeated NC State 2-1. As that one is fouled away. And Morris stepping back in with a 2-2.
A lot of speculation last year in the offseason that his was one of the names at the top of a lot of lists for job vacancies, but back to Duke he is.
They lost in the regionals to Liberty when they won the ACC title. And that's a strikeout looking. Will Ray. That's his 2nd on the night. And 16 total strikeouts for the Deags on the bunt.
For 16 strikeouts out of 22 outs. Nothing makes you healthier than good pitching.
And especially after last night, this is exactly what the Deags were looking for, Larry, and they did it on the island. Ben Miller, 0 for 3.
Oopsie.
That gets to the backstop. And Gill doesn't even bother trying to save that one with nobody on the base paths. Miller made contact his last time up in the 6th, and it was a pop-up to Reinisch and right. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Strike one. And the 1-1 is fouled away past the Deeks dugout. And Will Ray looking to finish the job that Chase Burns started. Though it seems David Falco is going to be coming in to try to finish the job when we head to the top of the 9th. 1-2. Level count for Miller.
Well, kind of an interesting decision. It comes down to, does Falco need the work so that you possibly use him 2 days in a row, or do you save him if you've got a 5-run lead? See if Ray can get you through the 9th as well, or somebody else.
And that's a backwards K. Back to back for Will Ray. 2 down in the 8th.
Cole Rowland, the Wake Forest closer, on the shelf at the moment. A lot of emotion by Ray out on the mound. A lot of emotion in the Wake Forest dugout. And now Chris Pollard is going to come out to have a conversation with his hitter.
Alex Stone. You know, it just makes me wonder if he feels any pressure.
Well, he's kind of, as we get a better look, he's letting the home plate umpire know what he thought of the last call.
Well, Pollard not happy about that one. He clearly making his points visible. It seems thinking he was just coming over to talk to Alex Stone, but nope, he decides to have a conversation with our home plate umpire tonight, Wilson Rayner.
Well, he called the hitter over, and it was a one-way conversation, and then some immediate notes written onto the game ledger by Rayner.
And as this crowd is trying to get into it, wonder if anybody made their way over from across the street. The last night for ACC men's basketball in the regular season. Tournament coming up in DC, as this is going to be a miscue by King, as that would have been a tough play anyway as Stone gets on base. You give a hit there, the Stone, Larry?
I think you do. He started his slide a little bit early to get his feet ready to throw, but the ball was in the gap.
As the Blue Devils still trying to get some things going. What a crowd last night. It was one of the top 10 top crowds here at the Couch for an ACC game. As the first pitch to Looking Bravo is a ball.
If things hold up the way they are, going to tomorrow with 1 win apiece, 4 o'clock start, should be a sunny day. Good day to come out and watch some great baseball.
And going to decide who is going to take the series. Wake Forest looking to win their 12th ACC series in a row. Goes all the way back to 2022. And there's another strike in there. 1-2. Will Ray looking for the strikeout on Bravo. Ball 2.
Well, Ray got the crowd to back him up, but that was a ball outside.
He got him! Oh my goodness, nope, foul ball. Now that was so close, with Bravo deciding to take the swing at it. The crowd thought that was a strikeout too, but nope, still a 2-2.
Another foul tip off the body of Cameron Gill.
And Will Ray will try it again. And this will be towards the Duke dugout and off into the stands.
Took a weird hop off one of the chairs. Had to clip somebody down there. Still some action in the Duke bullpen. There was a baseball going back and forth in the Wake Forest bullpen.
Not saying anything. One of the weight, and it's a foul ball.
Just barely.
Remains a 2-2 to Bravo. No, nothing there. Swings on the first pitch. Could be in play as Bravo and Grassi are looking for it, and it just gets off of the Duke bullpen, and it's an 0-1 for 1A.
Basically just a little exercise for the first baseman and right fielder when the balls head down into that territory. A lot of space down the right field line.
The 0-1. And it's fouled away again, 1-2. When they started the game 2 for 2 with a double and a single, popped up his last time up in the 5th. Got a ball into left field. And he swings and misses there. And that is another strikeout for O'Shell. Austin Hawk will now come up. O'Shell with 2 strikeouts, an inning ago, and that is his 3rd on the night. Austin Hawk, he's been struck out twice already, including the home run as well. It's the only hit he's had tonight. And he swings and misses for strike 1.
So that's the 9th strikeout of the night for Duke pitching. Been a boatload of Ks this evening.
We saw a boatload of H's yesterday, and now we get the opposite with the defense shining in game 2.
Can't even really say the defense.
Yeah, really just the pitching.
Pitching.
I was just about to say, like, maybe I should have said pitching, and it indeed is pitching. The 1-1. Outside. Hawk gets ahead of the count.
5 walks by the Duke staff, 3 walks by Wake Forest.
And 2-1 is hammered, and that's into the opposite field for a base hit. Austin Hawk hit number 2 on the night. And with 1 out, Wake Forest looking for some insurance. Tate Ballestero, 0 for 3. It's the first hit given up by O'Shell. And he takes strike 1 looking. The lead for Hawk at first. Michelle Fowler's home. And it's 1-1. Upstairs, 2-1 the ball to Stero. No matter how many runs you're ahead by, it seems a lead is never enough in baseball, as the Deeks want to get as many runs as they can before we head to the ninth. 2-1. And on a liner, that goes foul. That is actually caught by one of the Duke players.
Nice job by the pitcher guarding the pitching staff. Great catch. Important position down there. Guard the staff. Yeah, no lead is big enough in baseball, especially in this ballpark.
Check on the runner. Austin Hawk. A little slow to get up. Having to slide back on the attempted pickoff.
May have gotten some of those rubber pellets in his eyes, wiping his face a little bit.
Austin Hawk on base for the first time tonight. And playing the field on the diamond. He was able to touch all four in the home run in the third. Two-two. Swing and a miss. Ballestero goes down for the third time tonight, second in a row. And 2 down for Duke in the bottom of the eighth.
A lot of swings and misses by both teams this evening.
Blue Devils get into double digits with K's. They now have 10. This is in the air towards foul ground. Gracia racing it down, and he makes the catch at the wall. And so it all comes down to this. The Blue Devils down to their final. Want to come out here with a victory. First batter is Gracia. And that pitch is high for ball one. And a big swing and a miss there, 1-1.
Wow, goes with a breaking ball on the 1-0 pitch. Not the kind of thing that you expect from a freshman. And a big swing.
And Gunther does have 10 strikeouts of his own already this year. So that one is high. And Gracia gets ahead of the count 2-1.
Hard slider.
Chase Burns and Will Ray doing a great job shutting down Gracia. Not having the monster of a game that he did last night. And it's a 3-1 though. Gets him there. Full count.
Everybody have your hands.
The at-bat continues. Ball 4 on the payoff pitch, and the crowd not happy about that one.
Well, they're being told on the Wake Forest bench that the ball was inside, or outside rather. And there might be some validity to that.
Yeah, getting a second look, it seems that ball was outside. Duke, one batter, and they have the base runner on as Obi fouls the first pitch from Gunther. Gunther only pitching 1.2 coming onto the bump, and he throws a strike there. Obi trying to make contact low. A season high, 1.2 for Gunther. And there is a backwards K for number 19.
Fielder number 6, Macon Winslow.
Winslow. He has one of 3 hits on the night for Duke. He was 0 for 2 to start. Strike one there for Gunther. Strikeout number 11 for the freshman. Appearance number 6. 0-1. Fouled away, 0-2.
You know, Jonathan Santucci was the pitcher of the week in the ACC last week. Wonder if we might have seen the pitcher of the week tonight.
I think it's safe to say it's going to be 29. And that's up high for ball 1. Upstairs again, 2-2. Andrew Yu on deck. He was the DH last night. Yes, sir! That's 20! And the record is tied. Wow, what a breaking
Really
ball there, Larry.
That one.
And here comes Andrew Yu.
As we said, Gunther pitching his way into some important innings. As the pieces, in both sides, trying to get the pieces to come together as they move forward into the ACC season.
Yu went 0 for 4 yesterday. And that hits him. Yu to first. Graciel to second.
They caught him on the hand, maybe.
So it's going to bring up Wallace Clark. Duke down to their final out. And the Deeks 3 pitches away from tying this series. That gets away. Runners to third and second. Garcia the third. And there we go, 1-1.
What you call a quality coach visit.
There's Muscara calming down his freshman. 1-1 for Gunther. A breaking ball that just missed is for ball 2.
Also had him throw 2 off-speed pitches back-to-back to try to keep him from overthrowing.
And the Blue Devils are down to their final strike. And the game continues with a full count. And this is over the glove of Kurtz. That's going to bring around 2 runs. And it's a double to keep this game going at 6-3. On the payoff pitch for Wallace Clark.
Fairly well hit line drive that gets all the way down to the wall in right field and easily scores both runs, and that brings the tying run to the on-deck circle. A little bit too much the heart of the plate, and even Kurtz at 6-6 with that giant leap could not bring that ball in. And it led to an appearance with a few runs that ballooned some of the numbers. But he's used to save situations.
It's going to bring up Zach Morris. Strike 1. Wallace Clark still over at second. On the ground, picked up. Tellier for the first, and that's in time. And Wake Forest wins 6-3. They tie the series.